Hi guys, it's Tana Mongeau, and I'm a little bit giddy today, a little bit excited, because today I'm telling you a story that I have wanted to tell you for so fucking long. But this story took place like last year-ish, and when I started my YouTube channel, I was still friends with a lot of the people that were present for this moment or around during this time, or would hate me if I were to tell this story and kind of expose this person to all of the Vegas party scene or whatever. So I kind of had to wait until I got out of that and wasn't friends with those people anymore. And I just recently realized that those people are all out of my life, and I'm so excited to finally tell you this story because it is a fucking great one. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy crazy stories from a crazy fucking life. And let's get into the video. So before I get into the actual story about the Disney star and the cocaine, it's not clickbait, but I need to give you a little bit of a preface, you know? I used to party a lot. I used to really enjoy partying when I was in high school, and eventually I kind of stopped partying for various reasons. I didn't think that it was safe anymore. I didn't think that it was fun anymore. Cue me almost getting shot, cue me getting banned from the Cosmopolitan Hotel, cue every bad partying experience I've ever had. So I took like a 6 or 7 month break. And then last summer rolled around at the beginning of June, and I was like, you know what? Like, you are having no fun, Tana. Like, you're staying at home while all of your friends are going out and having a great time. You're a fucking teenager. This is the only time in your life you have to be reckless and fucking stupid and get away with it. Go out and live your fucking life. And so the way the Vegas party scene works is a random address every night during the summer is just sent around via text through everyone. Nobody really knows whose house it is, but we all just meet at the address and party whoever is throwing the party that night. So I get my random address for this night in the beginning of summer, and I have no idea whose house it is or whatever. All I know is it's like 30 minutes away from my house, and I didn't really want to go, but like everyone was there already and it looked really fun on like Snapchat and stuff, and I was like, you know what? Just go, Tana. So I show up to this house, and it is a really, really nice house. And it is obvious upon walking in that this is the house of a very rich adult. So immediately I'm expecting it to be like a kid throwing a party in their parents' house, you know, because that's the way that it normally is when it's a nice ass house like that. But then this guy walks up to me and he introduces himself and he tells me that it is his house. Let's call this guy Brian. So Brian was like 23 or 24, and this is a little bit awkward because Brian's gonna watch this video. Brian and I ended up actually becoming really, really, really good friends after this story, and I'll get into that in a minute, but he ended up being a really crazy person and a pathological liar and having all these problems and being 24 and being like obsessed with girls that were 15, 16, 17, and everything was built upon these crazy lies. And I really could make an entire fucking series about all of the crazy shit that happened to me while I was around him and all the crazy shit that I found out, and it's all really, really, really weird. And if you honestly want a series about it, you can. I'm sure that Brian is fucking so mad right now though as he's watching this because I'm gonna make a YouTube series about him. That's awkward. So I end up talking to him, and right away I'm very intrigued. He's a very, very intriguing person, a very intriguing guy. He has so much money, or so he says, that he doesn't even know what to do with it. He has beautiful cars out in the front of the house. The house is beautifully decorated. There's Versace stuff everywhere. He lives a life where he's friends with all these celebrities. He's fucked, according to him, I don't know. And being a young, naive girl, you're obviously very impressed with that, you know? Because what I'm used to is fucking 16, 17-year-old fuckboys that live with their parents, you know? And so Brian and I immediately click. And so he's throwing this party, and he tells me that the next night, it was gonna be a Saturday night, that he's gonna be throwing another party, and that he doesn't want anybody who's in his house right now, these were all just like Vegas teens, to come. He only wanted me and my friend to come to this party, and he was gonna introduce us to all of his other cooler, adult, famous, rich friends, and that it would be a fun time, if that makes sense. So obviously I say yes, as would anyone, you know? He seemed very seemingly normal and dope, etc. So I say yes. So I spend like 4 hours a day before getting ready, looking as hot as I possibly can. I'm so excited because I'm getting invited to this elite ass party that nobody else got invited to and can't come to. Everyone there is rich and fucking celebrities and like all this crazy shit. So I show up to his house and I walk in. And so this guy was best friends with a Disney star. And he kind of used that as like a tagline, I guess, to impress people. You know, his Twitter is flooded with pictures of him and this Disney star. He's very quick to say, blank is my best friend to impress you, etc. So I show up and he tells me, like, I want to introduce you to my friend, the Disney star. Let's call the Disney star Jeff. And this Disney is not just any Disney star. He at one point was a fucking superstar. He was incredibly fucking famous. He was on the most successful show on Disney Channel at the time. I grew up watching this person. I actually went to one of their meet and greets when I was like 12 years old and literally had them sign autographs. I was one of their biggest fans. So me meeting this guy immediately is like sparking everything in my fucking asshole because I'm freaking the fuck out. I used to be his biggest fan, you know what I mean? So he walks me over to the Disney star. I fucking compose myself because I'm the type of person that if I were to literally meet like Justin Bieber, I'd be like, what's your name? Because I think that it's cool and then people are gonna like me more and be more impressed by me if I do that. That's not true. Tana, you're an idiot. So I walk up to him and I'm playing it cool and I start talking to the Disney star and Brian kind of walks away to tend to his party. And so this Disney star seems very normal. We're getting along. I'm fangirling. Like in my head, it's a dope situation, etc., etc. And so after about 20 minutes of conversation, he's like, yo, I left my wallet in my car. Do you think I could borrow $40 from you? I'll pay you back by the end of the night. And me being very impressed by him, you know what I mean? And like, if a celebrity asks you something as simple as to borrow $40, like you're gonna say yes, you know, you want them to like you, you know? But at the same time, I was still very young. I worked at a minimum wage job. $40 was a lot of money to me, you know? I would get paid $150 every 2 weeks and I had to live off of that. Like that's difficult. So I'm like, you'll pay me back before tonight's over, right? And he's like, yeah, don't worry, I got you. And he made it seem like he needed the money for something very urgent, you know, like he owed someone money or he needed to like buy something. I don't even, now that I look back in hindsight, like what the fuck do you need $40 cash for to borrow from someone at a party other than drugs? I'm an idiot. But anyways, we just keep talking and about 20 minutes later, a guy walks over to him and he's like, yo, what up? And they like jap each other up and they're like, what's good, blah, blah, blah. And the guy pulls out a little like thing of cocaine and I almost just said his name. And Jeff hands him $40. My $40. This fucking Disney star that I used to fucking eat their fucking ass just bought cocaine with my money. Now 50% of me was like, that's fucking cool as fuck. But the other 50% of me was like, fuck you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, A, if you're a rich ass Disney star, why the fuck do you need my money to buy cocaine? I don't even know. Yeah. So he gets the cocaine out, like lines up 4 lines and does all 4 lines. He does them out of this little like professional fucking metal Coke straw that he pulled out of his pocket too, which if you have that, like you have a problem, you know what I mean? And then just casually keeps talking to me like that never happened. He starts telling me how he was making like $1 million an episode and that Disney fucking hates him now and like all this crazy ass shit. I don't even know. The night goes on, I'm having fun, I'm meeting all these new people, like it's a dope situation other than the cocaine shit, I guess you could say. So then I'm about to leave and I walk over to the Disney star and I'm like, yo, do you have my $40? And he's like, I'm sorry, have we met? What? And I'm like, yeah, like you used my $40 to buy cocaine earlier, like do you think you could give it back? Or like, you said you'd pay me back, like do you think you could like hook it up, like whatever? And he's like, I have no idea who the fuck you are, why the fuck are you pressing me, blah blah blah. I never fucking took any of your money, like I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, get the fuck away from me. And then he calls Brian over and he's like, Brian, can you get this bitch the fuck away from me? Like she's trying to take money out of me, all these fucking bitches try to finesse me, like I get it, I'm rich, blah blah blah, like but that all they fucking want is money, like da 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 da. And then I'm like, he asked me to borrow my money, he told me he would pay me back. And Brian kind of looks at me like, I know, like he does this all the time, you know what I mean? But then he's like, I'm just gonna need you to leave, like I'm sorry, like I can't have this drama in my house, whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is so weird. Like this place that I thought was so cool, I was meeting these fucking famous people, Brian seemed like the coolest person ever, what the fuck just happened? So I leave and I go home and I deleted these tweets. There's no need to fucking search for them because I'm not gonna get this Disney star like suing me. I tweet like blank, as in like their name, just asked me to borrow money, bought cocaine with it, and then pretended like it never happened and yelled in my face. What the fuck is tonight? And then like 2 or 3 other of my friends that lived in Vegas, like friends, like random fucking people, like they're not famous or anything like that, start tweeting me back like, yo, the same thing happened to me a few weekends ago, like that's so weird. So then this Disney star somehow sees these tweets, follows me on Twitter. So that I follow him back because I'm still like, what the fuck is going on? And he DMs me and he's like, if you don't fucking delete these tweets, I'll fucking sue you. I'll fucking ruin your life. Da 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 da. And I'm just screenshotting this shit and posting it on Twitter because like, what the fuck is going on, you know? And so the next day I wake up in the morning and all of the tweets are gone. He doesn't follow me on Twitter anymore, etc. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Fast forward a few days later, I'm scrolling down my Twitter timeline again, but this time I see news retweeted onto my Twitter timeline. And it basically just says that the Disney star's name and that they are going to rehab. Before I filmed this video, I looked up all male Disney stars that went to rehab, and there's several, so I'm glad that this isn't gonna like expose him. But he went away to rehab. And so while he was in rehab, Brian invited me back to another party at his house. And I'm like, okay, you know what? The weird fucking crazy Disney stars in rehab anyways. I liked Brian, etc. And so then over the course of the next few months, the Disney star was away in rehab, and Brian and I became great fucking friends. And Brian would tell me all of these crazy stories about how he loaned that Disney star like $20,000 and he used it all on drugs, and how that Disney star made millions and they spent it all on drugs and they have all these problems. All this fucking crazy shit about Brian's life, the Disney star's life, all this stuff. And basically, I guess Brian's like life goal was to travel all around the world in different cities, like Chicago, New York, LA, Las Vegas. And while he was there, just throw the best parties and have the best times and network with people. And that's how he would meet all these celebrities and all this crazy shit. Fast forward a few months later, I found out a lot of shit about Brian and a lot of shit went down. That can be an entire other story time. And it was really weird and really crazy because I was like losing my close friend at the same time. It was all just like really fucking weird. If you guys actually want to hear that story, I'm down to tell it to you. But the Disney star gets out of rehab, and one day I'm chilling at Brian's house. And this is one of the last times I ever went there, but the Disney star comes over and he walks straight up to me and is like, yo, I'm sorry for that one time. I just had a really bad drug habit, blah, blah, blah. He gives me $40 back because he wants to pay me back for what he did. I take the fucking $40. And then after he gives me the $40, he basically sits down next to me and tells me that I'm such a bad bitch and is hitting on me, nonchalantly tries to hook up with me, and I kind of am just like being a bitch because like, fuck you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you can't just come back here and like apologize and it's like over. And he gets like salty at me and is just like an asshole, and I leave. And that's kind of the end of the story. It's a little bit inconclusive, but I mean, like, a Disney star borrowed money from me, bought cocaine with it, pretended like it never happened. I Twitter fought with him. He went away to rehab, came back from rehab, apologized, gave me the $40 back, tried to fuck me. I said no and he was mad. Like, that's an eventful story in my life and I thought I would share it. And all in the meantime of this, I met a really fucking crazy ass guy with a lot of fucking crazy ass problems that I'm gonna start a YouTube series about. So Brian, I know you're watching this. I know you're mad. I know you're gonna subtweet me on Twitter. I know it's gonna be a thing, but honestly, why would I keep the stories to myself, Brian? This was a weird one, but I'm really happy I finally got to tell it, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.